What is up, guys? My name is BobaTalks and welcome to a brand new Flash trailer breakdown for episode 6 titled When Harry Met Harry. Now, as often with these trailers, it's quite a short one, but before we get into the breakdown, let's go ahead and watch the trailer.
Cash now!
This is perfect. Muggers are like superhero 101.
Whoa! Well, our work here is done.
You ready to suit up?
Oh yeah, I'm ready for my super suit. You stretch, it stretches. When you squish, it squishes.
Pushes into something but ugly. You have the makings of a hero.
Wear that or fight crime naked. Don't fight crime naked.
Flash, all new this Tuesday at 8/7 Central.
Now, despite this episode being called When Harry Met Harry, this trailer predominantly showed the elongated man, Ralph Dibny, mainly just trying out his new superhero costume, which is very funny. But before I get into the actual breakdown, let's give a look at the synopsis so we can get a little bit more understanding of what's to come in this episode. When collectors of Native American artifacts are attacked by a meta named Mina Chaitin, who can bring inanimate objects to life, Barry turns to a surprising ally for help. Determined to crack the identity of the Thinker, Harry enlists Cisco's help to summon the ultimate think tank, the Council of Worlds, a round table of the brightest Harrison Welleses from the various Earths. Now, I am really hyped for this episode, not mainly for what they showed in the trailer. I am also excited for that, but I am really, obviously mainly hyped for the Harrison Wells aspect of it, because we're getting a Council of Welleses, which is going to be absolutely insane, which is obviously a parody on Rick and Morty's Council of Ricks, which is also a parody on the Council of Reeds from Marvel. So quite a lot of inspiration going on there from different shows, but I was kind of a little bit disappointed that we didn't see any of the Harrison Wells stuff in this trailer. But at the same time, I kind of understand if that's the most hyped bit about this episode for me, it surely is for a lot of other people. And I guess they want to save the best to last for when we actually get to see the episode when it airs. But as the synopsis states, determined to crack the identity of the Thinker, Harry enlists Cisco's help, which, you know, is definitely a part of the ongoing investigation for the Thinker, as nobody in Team Flash properly knows the mystery behind Clifford DeVoe. They don't even know his first name, they only know his last name, because if you remember in the previous episode, right at the beginning, Barry, Harry, and Cisco were looking up DeVoes, but there was thousands and thousands of them around because it was quite a more common name than probably what they thought. So how would they know which DeVoe is the right DeVoe who's causing all of the stuff that is going on in Central City? So at the beginning of the trailer, we see that Barry is walking around with Ralph, and then he's like, oh, this is perfect, you know, muggers are sort of superhero 101s, this is going to be easy. And then before you know it, Ralph gets shot and it dings right back in the guy's leg. So this is all about Barry really starting to train the elongated man, which he will one day be known as, to really start to harness his powers. We've barely seen this in the previous episodes. In the actual previous episode, it was obviously the bachelor party, but at the very beginning we saw him stretching around Star Labs, and at the previous episode before that we saw that Barry invited him to the team so he could, you know, train and hone his powers so he can really make a difference one day as a superhero. And that really seems to be coming down in this episode alongside the whole Council of Wells thing that is going on at the same time. Next in the trailer, we hear Barry saying, you ready to suit up? And then he's like, you know, I'm ready to see my superhero suit. And we see that it is nothing more than really this elasticated kind of pajama set with a Daredevil-like, also Iron Fist vibe going on his head. Now, I do get why it's blank. It is completely a proto suit, and I guess at the same time Cisco hasn't designed a fully fledged one, because since he's got such abnormal powers than what you would normally expect, nobody would expect anyone to have the powers to stretch around all of the place. So how would you design a suit for that? Because it would just rip in half like clothes would. Cisco has come up with this material that is both really stretchy, and also in the trailer we see that it can be really small, so it can, you know, really elasticate out into this actual costume, and even further for when the elongated man might do something as random as stretch from one bit of the city to a whole other bit of the city. So the suit obviously needs to withstand the stretching of that. But if you're worried about this actually being what the suit will look like in terms of his actual superhero suit, don't worry. This is honestly just the proto suit. He won't seriously be running around, you know, as serious as the Flash, or should I say stretching around with just this suit on, because that would just be silly. But the thing that made me laugh, as much as Ralph doesn't like this suit in the trailer, you can really see that Barry feels sorry for him, because he just looks down and up at him just like, oh my god, thank thank God I am not in that suit. We see Ralph also stretch after this car in his new suit, and I have to say the effects still are looking pretty good, so that is good to see that it isn't terrible CGI that is going on, and it's probably quite an easy thing to do with a less complicated suit that is just one color. But going to the bit again where Ralph is talking to Cisco about the suit, and Cisco says that it squashes, and then Ralph says it squashes into something but ugly. I can't really deny that either. This has brought about this whole thing about the whole flash ring conundrum that is going on in the show. For the longest time, the show has kind of teased, whether it be through Cisco in season 1, about the reverse flash suit fitting into that reverse flash ring, and so how do you fit that into such a tiny ring? And now I feel like this, and other people as well, because I'm seeing it everywhere, this is the beginnings of that technology really coming possibly into the show. That is another question to argue, because could they do that effect every time? I doubt we'll see Barry using the CGI on the show, you know, with the flash ring coming out every time. Maybe they'll save it for special moments, for a really cool action piece moment where he's just like, you know, right, coming out the suit. And other times we just assume that he used the ring to get into the flash suit. But now, obviously, with Ralph's suit, which can be really small, and obviously he stretches out into it, is this the start of the technology for the flash ring flash suit? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's not forget the synopsis, where it says, when collectors of Native American artifacts are attacked by a meta named Mina Chaitin, who can bring inanimate objects to life. That moment in the trailer where we see that Tyrannosaurus Rex bones coming after Ralph and Barry. This really does remind me of Night at the Museum. Now, I've seen quite a few other people say this as well. It really obviously does. If you don't remember that film, you're probably perhaps too young at the time, but if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend watching it. It was definitely a childhood film with, you know, the great Ben Stiller in it. But this meta will be changing inanimate objects to life, such as these dinosaur bones and other inanimate objects. And if you didn't know, inanimate objects are just objects that like a pencil or like a rubber ball, and she can change one of those objects to come to life and start moving like these dinosaur bones. This will all be happening alongside the Harrison Wells Council of Wells thing that Cisco and Harry are up to in the episode. So Barry and Ralph will probably be taking care of this meta, who is also one of those bus metas, by the way, hit by the dark matter wave that Barry created coming out of the Speed Force. So this episode will kind of be split into two, Harry and Cisco doing their thing, and the comedy, really funny parts of the episode I think will be right there. And then obviously there'll be a bit of comedy with Ralph and Barry with this side, but they'll be primarily sorting out the problem with this metahuman, and it will be interesting to see if she ends up at that prison as well, because that seems to be just what the thinker wants. So let me know what you think about this trailer in the comment section down below, guys. What are you most excited for in the episode? Is it the Elongated Man and the Flash teaming up together to battle that meta who's bringing these inanimate objects like the Tyrannosaurus Rex to life? Or are you most excited, like myself, for the Council of Wells, which is just going to be so brilliant, mainly because I'm such a Tom Cavanaugh fan. I can't wait for it. It's going to be brilliant. But if you enjoyed this video, guys, please leave a like on it, as it really does show your support for the channel. And if you're new to this channel, maybe even consider subscribing to stay up to date with every single Flash video that I bring out. To make sure you never miss out on one of those videos, be sure to hit that bell button to enable notifications for the channel. If you want to stay a little bit more up to date with me personally, you can do so by following me on social media. The link should be popping up around here on the screen, or you can follow me in the description below by clicking on one of the links there. But apart from that, guys, that is everything I've got to say in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.